I'm thrilled now to be joined by my friend, the mayor of the city of Ocean Springs, Kenny Holloway. And I see Fofo Gilich over there. We'll get him tied in here in just a second. But Kenny, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, Ricky. Thanks for having me on.
So you were here last year. We had the opportunity to visit for a few minutes. You're actively involved. You've been super involved in the legislative side of this organization. The lobbying aspect of what they do is very significant, isn't it?
Yeah. They're very strong lobbyists. At the beginning of the session, we come up with a list of topics that we want to address. Obviously, PERS was the big issue this year, and we spent a lot of time on that, and I think we got a win there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Listen, I went this morning, just kind of scrolled down the activities of Ocean Springs, what's going on in Ocean Springs these days. But it's kind of thriving all the time, isn't it?
We're in the State of the City address I made. We stressed that Ocean Springs has always been a tourist town, and we've experienced growth spurts at times. The steamship brought people in, and then the railroad. So we had another growth spurt there. And Ocean Springs right now, we're in a growth spurt, and we're trying to manage that. Shane Loper told me one day, he was over at my house, he said, Kenny, the capital's coming to Ocean Springs. He said, we can sit here and let it happen, or we can get ahead of it and direct it, and that's what we're trying to do. Yeah,
Shane Loper, great leader from Hancock Whitney. You've got great citizens in the community that are willing to give back. He's just one example.
Yeah. We got good neighbors, too, across the bridge and so forth.
Yeah, we'll bring Fofo into the conversation here in just a second. But, it is really exciting to see. If you come to Ocean Springs on any given day, but certainly on the weekends, it's just bustling with activity. And then you see the construction underway, a new hotel just opened, all kinds of cool stuff happening.
Yeah, it's change. People are scared of change. They don't like it. A lot of people don't. The business community loves it. They're thriving downtown, and even out on Highway 90, activity is there. So, we can't fix the potholes unless we have revenue. So, and that's our basis for revenue.
Well, I was having a conversation with the mayor, Pascrashan, recently, and kind of like Ocean Springs, Pascrashan always just sort of described itself as a bedroom community. Ocean Springs used to be that. It's not that anymore. I mean, for certain parts of it is, but the business success of the community is really important. It's the way you keep taxes down. It's the way you pay your bills. Right. You want people to come in and enjoy the restaurants and the shops and all of that. That's what brings the downtown character to the city. But it's never easy. It's balancing sort of this residential feel with the realities of the commercial, growth that's happening. It's just part of the challenge, isn't it?
It is. That I always say there's three things that make Ocean Springs successful: is the downtown area, our medical community, and our school district. Yeah. Those three things we cannot mess up. In order to keep moving forward. But we went through our annexation. That was positive. Diversified our portfolio. I'll say a little bit. We've had some industrial space that we took in. The high school was now in the city limits, which that always bothered me. Yeah. But we were out of land.
Yeah.
We only had 11% available vacant land to grow. So we had all this spillover development that was going on outside the city, but they were using city services.
Right.
Our Parks and Rec, stuff like that. So anyway, that was a good positive move for us, and Ocean Springs hasn't grown in 20-something years, so should have been growing all along.
Yeah, in fact, one of the things I saw on the Facebook page was communicating with people who had been annexed about things like garbage collection and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're providing services out there in the annexation area, and we've got a plan to bring water and sewer to over the next 5 years.
So let's bring Mayor Fofo Gilich into the conversation. The mayor of Biloxi is still mic check real quick. How you doing?
Good, yeah. I can hear y'all perfectly.
Yeah. So It's great to see success in Ocean Springs, and conversely, it's great to see success in Biloxi too.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I just welcome. I mentioned Kenny and Jimmy. These folks get a chance to go coastal, and that's what we're doing. We're coastal here together, and welcome everybody. And it's sort of a higher energy this year than I've seen in past, and because challenges as well as some of the opportunities. Kenny mentioned some of the legislative kind of moves, and sometimes they get in a direction that doesn't make sense to us, since we're the ones that are in the trenches. Everybody knows. My phone number. I know his phone number. He knows my phone number, and we're the ones that have to pay for some of these strange ideas that may come. When you talk about the retirement system or now sales tax and some of these other things, this is a real deal for me and him.
Yeah.
And citizens too. So it's good to at least take the pulse, in situations like this or conferences like this, to figure out, hey, this is what they may be hearing and what we may be facing. And it's a sort of you got to balance things, to stay in check. So it's a challenge to have, but you need to be thoughtful and mindful of where our next moves are. And that's what challenges us.
I agree, Kenny. I agree for complete. Kenny, when you think about the legislative muscle that this organization brings, when you get behind something like PERS, it's very significant, isn't it?
It is. It is significant. And the good thing about being on the coast right now and up in Jackson is we have some heavy hitters in the legislature. When you're talking about the Speaker of the House, the Speaker Pro Tem, the Appropriations Chair. That's unprecedented leverage for us on the coast.
Yeah, I had Speaker Jason White on my show 2 weeks ago. I had Manley Barton on my show last week. Man, he has paid. The Speaker knows coastal Mississippi is here, doesn't he, Fofo?
Yep. It's good to depend on people. They know what we're talking about. It's not just some strange concept. They will try to pleading your case on this is why this makes sense for us or does not make sense for us. It's good to have those those channels.
Yeah.
And it never hurts. To even if you're on opposite sides, at least what the play is for for or against. You just need that information in order to make reasonable and correct decisions.
I was talking to Matt about the extension of Pops Ferry Road earlier.
That's very 20.8. Almost 20.9 million, and that's been about 4 years in playing, and it's going to be really dynamic as far as positioning and what we need to do as far as a new bridge or long haul. It needs to become when that extension takes place. It will now touch Pops Ferry. Will touch a major highway, which positions us to be in a mode to a state road or federal highway. To do anything in the future. So, but it was a big deal, and we pressed hard for it. So we're in, maybe the last 3 or 4 weeks of before we award the contract and break ground. So that was a big deal for us.
That's exciting. Is business good in the city?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And you knock on wood. Who knows what next 4 or 5 months will bring, but it's a dynamic thing, and it's surprising too, because I like to look at every weekend that we have in every month to predict what's happening. Because weekend, from the gaming and visitation business, it's it's just one of these metrics you got to look at. And so people get excited. Well, this is down or this is up. Well, there's reasons why it's down, and sometimes it's just you look at how many weekends you have. 5 weekends in this month instead of 4.
Yeah.
And the reporting, those kinds of things with Department of Revenue, and I know Kenny has the same challenges. Sometimes you don't get the information you need at the state level, yet you're responsible for sending them all that money. You just need to know, hey man, I need some info, and we can't do that. Well, you can do that, and in order for us, it's not like we're going to make it public. We just need that information to work with our council, to work with our folks in order to say, this is what we need to do. From the peer standpoint, a 0.5% for the next 5 years, that's a big number. When you have 600 something employees, and that's a big part of what you got to pay.
Yep.
So I don't know. It just we need the information in a timely way, and trying to eliminate obstacles, which for me and you in business would be, hey, that's a no-brainer. But
right.
When you get into this governance that we're in, it seems to be, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm a Croatian, so I don't have a lot of patience patients. Patients at the hospital, if you know what I mean.
So, Kenny, we got about a minute to go. So, when Biloxi's doing well on the casino side, Ocean Springs does great.
Absolutely, absolutely, we do. We have a lot of residents that work in Biloxi. Still. So, when the casino business is hopping, we do. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting. It's exciting to see the way you guys communicate with each other and sort of applaud each other's successes.
Well, we grew up together. Some of us ain't grown up yet. We grew up together. So
our families go way back.
Way back.
Way back. I don't. Wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. It's good to see you. Hey, it's been a pleasure to visit with both of y'all, and we'll stay in touch and have you back on and do a more detailed assessment of what's happening in your cities. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. We'll see you after this.